response to the dwindling Jewish communities in Europe, World ORT, the largest Jewish vocational training NGO, has partnered with the Ministry of Diaspora Affairs and the European Jewish Fund to establish a leadership grooming program for Jewish teens from around the continent. The most obvious thing.
They look just like all other teenagers the world over. But these kids have high hopes pinned on them. They're believed to have the potential to become true leaders in their sometimes disappearing Jewish communities across Europe.
The Jewish people is losing so many Jews, 500 a day, and these numbers are extremely hard for us to absorb.
Do you feel confident in the future of the Jewish community in Vilnius and in Lithuania in general?
Slightly not, because I've seen that a lot of elderly people attend community, and youngsters, the younger ones, are not so willing.
It's World ORT, supported by Israel's Ministry for Diaspora Affairs and the European Jewish Fund, that initiated the first World ORT Future Leaders program.
We feel committed to this. We think that this is somehow connected to the problems and challenges of Jewish education nowadays.
That Jewish people have a responsibility to help the whole world, not just ourselves, but that we want to be making a difference in the world.
This network of like-minded contemporaries can be crucial to these young people, many of whom come from tiny and rapidly diminishing Jewish communities, where remaining Jewish is an ongoing challenge.
I'm afraid when I'm going with my Magen David, and I had to move school because of that. I got bullied, and they see me as Israel. So when Israel was in war, I was Israel, and some boys threw things on me and said, "Oh, we got to destroy Israel."
A small but enthusiastic crowd of movie connoisseurs gathered at the Copenhagen Cinematheque for the 6th Copenhagen Jewish Film Festival. One of this year's highlights was the award-winning film Amos Oz, The Nature of Dreams.
It was a rough first draft of the longest Nazi propaganda film ever shot inside the Warsaw Ghetto, the largest of the Jewish ghettos established by the Nazis in occupied Poland.
Another feature film that drew high praise was the documentary entitled A Film Unfinished, written and directed by Yael Hersansky. And while the festival consists of Jewish-themed entries, director Anna Bukris says its appeal stretches beyond religious and ethnic boundaries.
It has a national outreach, but I think during the last 3 festivals we discovered that if we work really hard and if we try to theme it the right way, we can reach out for the non-Jewish audience, and that is certainly an aim we have, because we want to be a contribution to the Danish society from a Jewish perspective.
The importance of wide-scale appeal was also emphasized by Menu Serene, a non-Jewish member of the Danish Parliament.
It's very important that we keep in touch with a minority, and we also help people preserving their culture, the traditions.
Turning now to the arts, where Hebrew letters, Hasidic stories, ancient Jewish texts, and spectacular puppets were recently brought to life in a tribute to Jewish folklore held in Krakow, Poland.
Hebrew letters spinning in the town square as the Israeli Mistorin theatre group takes part in this summer's Krakow International Street Theatre Festival. The Mistorin performance takes place on a clear summer evening in Krakow's main square, more than 6 decades after the city's 65,000 Jews, 1/4 of Krakow's residents, were murdered in the Nazi Holocaust.
I play the tzaddik, and this rabbi is have a memory of his community, of his people. Now they are not exist anymore.
My family came from Poland, my grandfather and grandmother, and they're not here anymore. So I took the image that it's my grandmother, and I was acting with her. And in the end of the scene, I'm like saying goodbye to her.
While it does not directly tell the story of the Holocaust or of the destroyed Jewish community of Krakow, or for that matter, of all of Poland, the performance resonates with images and sounds from a painful, lost past.
Actually, we are trying to say, okay, yes, we know about the tragedy and the tragedy that happened, but we're continuing. We still have these beautiful songs, we still have these beautiful texts.
Israel's image across Europe is in jeopardy, and we need to do something about it. Well, that's the message from participants of a year-long seminar for Jewish activists designed to inspire and to equip them with techniques to better explain Israel's position around the world. IBA special correspondent Leah Zinder has that story.
Hi, my name is Ben. I'm a lawyer in London. I specialize in criminal law.
I'm from Vienna, Austria. I studied political science. I'm working in a real estate company.
I'm the Birthright Tag Lead Coordinator for Central and Eastern Europe.
They came from across Europe for 5 intensive seminars over the past year. Their goal, to acquire the tools necessary to improve Israel's image, which is under unprecedented attack in some parts of the world.
I cannot overestimate how bad it is.
I feel like I need to step up and to make my voice heard, to present the Israel I know from trips, from studying there for a year, to bring that to the table and to show a different aspect that they do not get out of the news.
The battle for the hearts and minds of their peers is a difficult one in the current climate in Europe. But over the past summer, a new development in Israel has given energy and impetus to these young Israel advocates. It was the mass social protest, mostly by young people, that swept the country's cities with a familiar cry, "The people demand social justice."
What's happened in the north of Africa was remarkable, but what has happened in Israel, you know, those people crying "Ha'am doresh tzedek chevrati," this is also, I mean, quite astonishing. To have revolutions happening in, well, totalitarian regimes is very nice, but to have them happening in democracies is even more astonishing.
It was the Zionist Federation, along with the European Jewish Congress, that sponsored the program. The singing of Hatikva marked the end of the course. The young leaders have now returned to their own countries, determined to make a difference. Leah Zinder for IBA News, London.